What if then the reason your life feels like a loop is not just bad luck, it's unfinished energy? Yep, that kind that follows you from relationship to relationship like a notifications tab that you forgot to clear. Welcome back to the Aura Room, the space where we keep it soulful, a little mystical, and surprisingly practical. Because healing is not just vibes, it's strategy. Today, we are talking about love and karma, the messy stuff, the magnetic stuff, the why do I keep choosing the same person in a different font stuff. And I'm joined by June Edward, a lifelong entrepreneur with powerful psychic abilities that opened fully and basically said, surprise, new job. June trained to control her gifts, worked with well known paranormal teams and authors, supported missing person cases, and wrote multiple books. She also created the Relationship Mastery Program, helping people understand energy, reconnect to their soul, and shift their lives by seeing things from a higher perspective. June, welcome to the Aura Room. I'm so excited because this topic is spicy, but it's also deeply healing.
Thank you for having me.
Well, the pleasure is all mine. So, June, let's start with the basic. Um, when people say it's karma in relationship, are we talking destiny or are we dodging accountability with a prettier language?
People don't really understand what karma is. Karma is something that you create in the lifetime that you're in. If you do something to someone else that you do not make amends for and you have no remorse for, okay? When you come back into another lifetime, you have a karmic debt that you owe that person. So in this lifetime, you're collecting karmic debts from a past lifetime and you're repaying karmic debts from a past lifetime, not this lifetime. Okay. And karma is not a bad thing. People have to understand that everything that's happening in your life, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. It's always happening for your highest and your best. And the people that are coming back to repay their karmic debts, they're not negative things. Suppose you stole money from someone in a past lifetime. They're not going to come back into this lifetime and steal money from you. They're going to come back and help you learn one of the 5 soul lessons that you're required to learn for your soul to advance on the other side. Maybe they're going to come back and teach you how money works because money is energy. That's why it's called currency. And it's part of one of the lessons that you have to learn in this lifetime, money and balance. Okay. So karma is not a bad thing. And when something negative seems to be happening in your life, remember that because everything has to stay in balance, something amazing is coming on the other side of that. And the only reason that it's happening is because you're probably off your life path. You chose what happens in this lifetime while you're here. But the universe wants you to think you have choice. So the only choice you truly have is whether or not you're going to learn the lesson that you're here to learn or if you're going to keep delaying it. Now, what I mean by that is this. Suppose you're in a relationship, you get married, you have a couple children, you get divorced. You're going to be standing in front of door 1, 2, and 3. There's your choice. Most people are a creature of habit. What are they going to do? They're going to take door 1 again. They're going to go through it. They're going to get married. They're going to have a couple more children. They're going to get divorced again. They're going to be standing in front of door 1, 2, and 3. And you can take door 1 the rest of your life if you want and keep delaying your lesson. But if you learn the lesson that you were supposed to learn, or you taught that person the lesson you were supposed to be teaching them, if you owed the karmic debt, you're not going to take door 1 again. You're going to take door 2 or door 3. And you may still get married and have children and end up with another divorce, but it's not going to be for the reason the other 2 were because you learned your lesson. That's the difference.
Amazing. I think that explains karma very nicely. And even I believe that karma is basically balance. It is very necessary to keep balance on earth. And that's what it does. And not only in love and relationships, but in every aspect of life. So, sometimes we feel very connected to a person and we don't know why that happens, even if we met only a few days ago. So how can someone tell the difference between a karmic bond and a nervous system addiction to familiarity?
So there's no such thing as a nervous addiction to to familiarity. That's not an actual thing. Um, that's an explanation from your brain, which is 3D while you're here. Okay. The reality of it is you are not the suit that sits here. You are the soul that's inside. And your soul is here to learn certain lessons. That's the reality. And everyone that comes into your life for a reason. You travel from lifetime to lifetime with the same soul group of people. And of course, those people are going to owe you karmic debts or you're going to owe them one. Okay. And you can recognize there's only three types of relationships there's a karmic relationship, a soulmate relationship, and a twin flame relationship. Twin flame relationships get way too much attention because of all the movies, and everybody thinks it's this romantic thing, and it's really not. Okay. A karmic relationship, you'll know it's a karmic relationship because it never quite feels right. And remember, you're in a relationship with everyone in your life your family, your friends, your coworkers, your employees, or your employer. It's not just a romantic relationship. Maybe you've got a best friend. But for some reason, something always feels like it's off, and you're always looking for the red flags. Well, that is a karmic relationship. They are strictly here to teach you something or to you to teach them to repay that karmic debt. And once that lesson is learned, that relationship ends immediately. It's like you wake up one morning and wonder why you even have this person in your life any longer. Okay. A soulmate relationship, on the other hand, is still there for you to learn something or teach something, but it's also there to afford you some love and affection along the way. And soulmate relationships don't have to end as soon as that lesson is learned. It really depends on what you've written into your life path. Some soulmate relationships will last a lifetime and others won't. And you could have anyone as a soulmate. It could be a child, it could be your dog, could be your soulmate because we reincarnate as animals as well. And then the twin flame relationship is literally one soul that's split into two bodies on the other side and will continuously reincarnate in two separate bodies, even though they are one half of each of the soul. Now, they don't always come through together. Sometimes only one will come through, not the other. There are only a specific amount of them that reincarnate at any given time, and they literally have a higher purpose here on Earth. Their purpose here is to really help humanity. And at some predetermined time, if you have a twin flame, you will meet. And then the two of you, your lives will be completely imploded. Everything that you have in your life, you'll lose everything. And you have to be put on the path that you're supposed to be on. Now, twin flame relationships are very specific. They are extremely passionate, they're extremely sexual, and they're extremely short. They only last for a matter of a few weeks to a few months, and that's it. And only one person recognizes the connection. The other person is living in their brain in fear. And that's what your brain does. It creates fear to protect you. So the second person just completely ghosts the first one. And the first one, understanding that connection, is unable to even move on to another relationship because everything is compared to that for the rest of their life. It's like finding yourself when you actually meet that person. They are very rare. They're not the norm. Okay. And everyone does not have a twin flame, as some people will tell you. That is not the case. Okay.
That explains things a lot. Like it makes things a lot more easier to understand now. And I definitely think that there are just some unfinished business with certain people that we had in past lives, and I think we are here in this life to pay those debts. I think that's why karmic bonds are a thing. And whatever you said, it hits because sometimes a soulmate is just a unhealed pattern with great chemistry. And chemistry without clarity is a risky business model. Moving on, June, why do some connections feel instant? Like sometimes we meet some people and we feel like we have known this person since ages. And it's
Again, it's a
intense.
soulmate. Again, it's because you reincarnate with these people from lifetime to lifetime. So souls recognize each other, absolutely. And we're magnets. We're always either repelling or attracting at any given time. And you're going to attract the people into your life that are supposed to be there for you.
Yeah, because intensity can be a signal, but it's not always a green light. And sometimes it's a flashing dashboard warning. So, June, do you think that our relationship choices create new karmic threads, or do they simply activate old lessons that we have been avoiding?
We all have the same lessons that we're supposed to be learning: self worth, money and balance, trust and communication, patience, and unconditional love. We all have to learn those lessons. Some people know some of the lessons, some people don't know all of the lessons or any of the lessons. So, every connection that you have in this 3D world that you're living in is there for a reason, and you're here to help each other. People forget that. They come into this body, they come into this existence, and we're like avatars. You're just going about your business. You're an actor in a play while you're here. That's the reality of it. You're here to play a role. And anything that's happening to you, again, no matter how difficult you think it is or how tragic you think it is, it's part of the plan that you wrote and it's happening for a reason. Absolutely nothing is random in this world. So the people that are coming into your life, if you don't like something that's happening, ask yourself, what it is am I supposed to be learning from this? Or what am I supposed to be teaching from this? There's the answer and the question for every engagement that you have with everyone. That's reality.
Yes, that's definitely true. So, if someone wants to stop repeating the same love lesson, what is the first energetic move that they should make according to you?
Why am I in this relationship? What am I supposed to be learning? Suppose you're in an abusive relationship, and whether it's verbally abusive, physically abusive, right? And you go from one to the next. Oh, I finally got the courage to leave them, or they left me. And guess what? You found someone that does something extremely similar to it. Okay. Maybe they just belittle you constantly or avoid you and tell you that you're nothing. These are all problems with self worth. Okay. And until you learn your self worth, you're going to keep repeating. Each lesson will continually reinforce the next lesson. Unconditional love is another one. You have to start unconditionally loving yourself before you can love anyone else. You don't understand love if you don't unconditionally love yourself. And self worth is knowing that you're so important that you're the only one of you in this entire universe. Why would you allow someone to abuse you in any way, shape, or form? You shouldn't. It's that simple. You have to love yourself. You have to know your self worth. And you also have to put yourself first. It's not selfish. It's not narcissistic. It's where everything else comes from. If you can't take care of yourself first, you just simply won't be here to be able to take care of anyone else. It's that simple.
That's that is such a great advice, and like you said, putting yourself first should be everybody's priority. And it's very practical because people they love a glow up, but they need a process. And the first step of that process is to love yourself, not just a quote on Instagram. So yeah, definitely. Thank you for sharing that, June. So this is where it gets real. Some listeners here forgive and feel sick because the harm was deep. So what does forgiveness mean in an energetic context without minimizing pain?
It's understanding that everything happens for a reason. Let's say you were cheated on. You're in a relationship, the love of your life, and he turns around and cheats on you. It's got nothing to do with you. He didn't do it because of you. He did it because it was part of his life plan. It was something he was supposed to do. Okay. Maybe in a past life he was cheated on. He needed to feel what it was going to be like for him to be in that position for the why. Okay. It's not about you. And when you can understand that, you can see why it happened. You can see that it's got nothing to do with you. It doesn't mean they don't love you. It's got nothing to do with that. It's their lesson that they had to learn. Maybe they didn't appreciate you until they did something like that, and then they risked losing you. There's many different reasons that it happens, but it's really got nothing to do with you. It has to do with the person that's doing the cheating. So why would you feel like you're the injured party here? You're not the injured party. They're doing what they're supposed to do. Now you need to understand that and do what you're supposed to do. If you feel that that affected your self-worth and then that you don't want that person in your life anymore, then that's your choice. Absolutely, that's your choice. You don't have to stay with them because they did it, but you also don't have to ruin your relationship because it happened either. Just because it happened once doesn't mean it's gonna happen all the time. One of the worst statements there is once a cheater, always a cheater. That is absolutely not true. It happened because it was supposed to happen. Ask yourself what that reason is. And then put the focus back on you. What do you want in your life? Who do you want in your life? It's not about that person, it's about you. It has to always be about you, not them.
Yeah, I think that is such an important thing to understand because most of the time, whenever the victim they feel that if something bad happened, it's because of them, but most of the time it's self projection from the person who did the harm. So it's very important to know that, and after understanding that, I think forgiveness it becomes easier, and then it's completely up to them if they want to be a part of their life or not. So
Well,
yeah.
and the other issue is that nobody can make you feel anything. If you're feeling hurt, that's on you. I can't make you feel hurt. I can't make you feel love. I can't make you feel hate. I don't have that kind of power over you. No one does. You are responsible for how you feel. You and only you. And only you can make yourself happy. No one else can make yourself happy. I hear it all the time. Oh, when I meet the right guy, when I get the right job, oh, then I'll be happy. It does not work that way. You make yourself happy. And when you're happy, you will attract someone else that's happy. And then your happiness will ping pong back and forth between the two of you. But if you're hurt, it's the same thing. No one's responsible for that hurt but you. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. You have to ask yourself, why am I so hurt? Are you so hurt because you think you were the cause, that they don't love you? Well, think about the truth of it. You're not the cause. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing, and it doesn't mean they didn't love you. That's got nothing to do with it.
Definitely. Yes, some things are just supposed to happen. But
Absolutely.
yeah. So, June, what are alternatives for people who are not ready to forgive yet, but still want to release the energetic tie and reclaim their power?
It's all tied in together. How are you gonna reclaim your power if you're still living in hate? Hate is a very, um it's a very deep feeling, and it comes from fear, okay? While you're here in this 3D world, or we all have brains in our head, right? Well, your brain, other than being a computer to help you process all the information that you have, has a very specific job. Your brain's job is to protect you. How does it do that? It creates fear. And you cannot be in fear and love at the same time. Those are the two opposite ends. Hate is not the opposite of love. Fear is. It all comes from fear. So you need to get rid of the fear so that you can live in love and start looking at things through that lens of love. And when you do that, you can forgive everybody for anything because you have to understand they're doing what they're supposed to be doing here. This is their role. Everything was predetermined for the most part. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Thank you for that. I mean, because the goal it is not to excuse anyone. The goal is to stop paying emotional rent to a past version of yourself. And like you just said, emotions and feelings they come from within. So nobody can make us feel anything unless and until we are letting them. So it's very important to understand that actually. So June, people are waking up intuitively, but then they overread every text, every vibe shift, every silence. They read too much into everything. So, how do we use intuition as a tool and not a trigger?
When you're able to meditate properly and get in touch with your soul, and your soul is too big for your body, some of it's in your body, some of it's over your body that people can see, and it's called an aura. And the majority of your soul is in that lowest level of heaven, that fifth dimension. So when you meditate, that's the soul that you're getting in touch with, that very, very high vibration. And that will offer you that intuitive belief and the knowing, that absolute knowing of what is true and what's a trigger. You don't need to be triggered by everything. And it's amazing when people first start to wake up and they realize that, "Oh my god, I'm seeing 1111 everywhere. Oh my god, there's a tr you know, there's a trail of turkeys crossing in front of my car." Yes, anything out of the ordinary is a message from the other side, but it shouldn't be a trigger for you. It shouldn't be triggering you into something. You should start learning how to take life like a roller coaster ride, okay? You have to have the highs in order to have you have to have the lows in order to have the highs, but you wanna stay somewhere in the middle there. Learn how to balance all those emotions and the things that are happening in your life out so that things aren't triggering you.
Definitely, it's very important to take control of your life, as I've been saying since the beginning. And this is the leadership moment because intuition without emotional regulation can become chaos. And we are here for aligned love, not energetic whiplash. So, this has been an amazing conversation, June, and I've learned so much from it about love, about karmic bonds. A lot of my doubts have been cleared as well. But I'm sure that the listeners may have some queries or may have some questions for you, or they want to connect with you, learn more from you. So if they want to do that, could you share with them how can they reach out to you?
Sure, my website is very simple, it's just my name, juneedward.com. There is links to all my books there. You can send me a message through there. My social media links are on there. You're welcome to schedule an appointment if you like. I do work internationally. I have clients all over the world at this point. And my relationship mastery program as well. There's a free webinar you can sign up to watch for that as well.
Great. So I'll have all the details on my show listing, and our listeners can reach out to you anytime they want. All right, Aura Room family, here's your mini challenge for the week. Simple, powerful, and a little uncomfortable in the best way. So, firstly, write down the last 2 to 3 relationships or situationships that impacted you most. Secondly, for each one, finish this sentence. The lesson I kept avoiding was dot dot dot. And thirdly and lastly, write one boundary you will practice for the next 7 days. Just one, but make it realistic. And if this episode sparks something in you, share it with a friend who keeps saying, I don't know why this keeps happening to me, because awareness is the first upgrade. Also drop a review, follow the show, and send this to someone who's ready to stop confusing intensity with intimacy. And June, thank you for bringing both the mystical and the tactical today. That's the sweet spot. And Aura Room listeners, remember, love is not supposed to be a punishment, it's supposed to be a pathway. When you choose clarity, you choose karma that heals. I'm Archita, and this has been the Aura Room. Until next time, protect your energy, honor your heart, and choose relationships that feel like peace, not a performance.